both terms. That here, if you're talking about the phenomena like absorption and adsorption, absorption phenomena is volumetric phenomena, and this is the superficial phenomena. Here, the heat exchanger, if you're talking about how the heat exchange takes place, here is the endothermic process, and this one is the exothermic process. Okay, keep aside how we can differentiate. Now you can see if any kind of adsorption will be occur, it generally occur on the surface of the body. If you have any kind of body, if solid will adhere on that surface, so this is called as the adsorption, AD. And if you are looking for absorption, means some particle cross through a particular medium or particular that barrier, and it will go across this side also and that side also. So this term called as absorption phenomena, and both this thing is related to your radiation part. And if you're talking about in broader way, that there is the one basic difference, that absorption is the bulk phenomena and this is the surface phenomena. As I already told, if you have any kind of body, like if you have this kind of bigger body, if any nanoparticle kind of a structure will come, it will adhere around the surface. This term is called as the adsorption process, means some kind of solid particle get adsorbed on the surface. But if it will cross through that particle, if it will go inside particle here, it will go here, it will go here, it will go here. This process called as the absorption. And heat transfer by any kind of solid particle or any kind of medium, it is depend on that the intrinsic property of the material. Means, come to that notes, that if you have iron rod or if you have copper rod, it will be depend on the which kind of property which can transfer more heat. It will define by its intrinsic property. Like if you have that wooden rod, this is your wood, and if you have one iron rod, this is your iron rod. If both body have the same surface area, this is your iron. Fe I am writing, okay? Fe, iron rod, and this is your wooden rod, wood. Everyone knows that wood have the lower thermal conductivity as compared to iron, because here the transfer through conduction will be very high in this case as compared to this case. Okay, these are depend on intrinsic property of the material. Inside the property, which kind of material it have inside this thing, it is depend on it will be depend on that absorptivity, how it will absorb heat and how it will transmit. Okay, so we have discussed about this, all the fundamental thing, all the Wien's law, Kirchhoff's law, Stephens Boltzmann law, we have discussed in radiation. Okay, we have finished this thing. Okay, and in the last lecture we have discussed about the conduction, convection, how conduction takes place, how convection takes place. I think you might have gone through my notes, but conduction means if there will be the, can anyone tell how the conduction takes place? Okay, a random molecular motion. And convection, random molecular motion and bulk motion. It will, you have to consider both. Okay, so today we will talk about how the heat transfer will take place in any kind of Cartesian coordinate. Means if you have any kind of body, if you have body like this, then how the heat transfer will takes place if the heat is flowing from this direction to this direction. We will discuss this thing today. Okay, first of all, we have to consider a rectangular, and I think now see, this is your rectangle. We have taken the 3D rectangle. XQ heat will flow from this direction to this direction, and this is the small segment you have cut from any kind of solid surface or any kind of medium surface. Means you have if you have any kind of solid, this is your whole rod, then what you did, a small portion from that you have cut it down to see how the heat transfer will takes place inside the body. If you will cut this 3D segment, okay, small portion from this whole portion has been highlighted here. Now here will be the XY, this will be the Cartesians, X, Y, and Z. Now here, if the Q will flow, this is the small segment, it will call as the delta X. Q will be in flow in the X direction will be QX plus delta X, because this is the small segment you have added. Similarly for Z direction, here will be the Z and here will be the QZ plus DZ. And here your Q will QY and here will be QY plus QY. Now you have taken this segment and you have to determine how the heat transfer will take place. Then you have to apply the fundamental heat transfer phenomena, means how the heat transfer will take place and how the material will react on that particle, on inside material, and how it will transmit heat from higher body or higher temperature to lower temperature of the surface. Okay, this is the 3D representation of any kind of Cartesian coordinate. Now how you will approach. Now this is the formula. Okay, let me read that if the directional characteristics of the material are equal or same, it is called as the isotropic material, or if uneven or different, any isotropic material. Okay, this thing is the general formula. Okay, and QG here the heat generation per unit volume per unit time. As I already told here, definitely if you will transmit any kind of heat, then definitely there will be some kind of loss. So to define that loss, you have to calculate how much will be the loss inside that 3D structure. Okay, I think they have already mentioned that QG, the loss in the heat, QG equal to Q, small q, G multiplied by dx dy dz. This is the whole area of that segment. Dx dy dz, this is the volume. Dx dy and dz, volume of the whole segment, and this is the generation of the heat. This is the all the intrinsic property. Okay, now how you will approach? First of all, you have to do the material balance, energy balance. Same thing for a volume element. What you do, what you will do, the net heat accumulated in the element due to conduction of the heat from one direction, consider as A, and the heat of generation, generated element, they have written as the B, and the energy stored in the element, which is called as the C. Okay, there is the three term. How much? One will be the accumulation, heat of generation, and the third will be your energy storage. You have to determine all the each term for all throughout the the cubical position. Okay, then what you will do, you have to first of all write, this is the formula, Q equal to minus K, area dx by dt. I think you have read in okay. Just see very carefully, because there is the one term. Now you can see if the qx, you are looking for qx. Now if it will be this qx, but here what you have taken the area dy dx. Why? Can anyone tell why you have taken dx dy? Sorry, dy and dz. If the heat is flowing from this direction to this direction, fluid is flowing this direction to this direction. Okay, this is your x, qx, and here will be the x plus delta x. Okay, can anyone tell why you have taken dy dz? Can anyone? Okay, here area you have to taken you have to take in the perpendicular of that direction. Means what does that mean? Now you can see Q will flow in this direction, but what is the area of this particular plane? this particular plane, this particular plane. Okay, now see, here we are talking about area of this particular segment, this particular segment,
Yes,
and
sir,
how
you are
much
audible.
will be okay, then how much will be the area of this particular zone? It will be the dy. This is the area of dy, and this is the area of delta dz. Because I think this is the thumb rule. When you will your when you will rotate your hand, how can I show? I don't know. Your thumb rule, there is one rule, means if you will rotate your all four fingers, then your thumb will come out automatically inside the upward direction. Same thing happening here also. When you will rotate all four fingers, what will happen? When you will rotate this whole area, then this will be the direction in opposite to that flow. Okay, this is called as the Q. How much will be the heat generation, and you have to take this area only, this particular segmental area, this area, perpendicular to the flow. And this negative sign, why negative sign here? Because Q you are considering from here to here, but your direction is upward direction, sorry, opposite direction. So here negative sign, it is coming to that thing only. Okay, then you have got the minus sign. Q will be the thermal conductivity, and dy dz, this will be the area from this area to this area, and del t by del x, and this is the small time segment. Now here, during the same time interval d tau, the heat flow through out the right face. This is the right face of the control volume. Okay, same thing, this thing, this is your control volume, and if the Q heat will flow from here to here, this will be the area, this particular zone, means from C, B, A, D. You have to determine this area and multiplied by this Q, delta T by delta X, and your small time interval. Okay, now you have determined how much will be the influx, how much will go inside the heat on that particular cubical zone. Now second, what you have to determine, you have to determine how much will come out from that region. Then here will be Qx plus delta x. Qx, it will be the this particular value plus how much will be the change. You, as I already told, you have, whenever you will write this kind of equation, you have to make sure that your unit dimensions are correct. If you will cut that delta x from here, delta x from here, it will give you the same unit as the qx. Now, but you have to determine in the small segmental area, then you have to write like this: dou by dou x multiplied by q, how much is the change which was happen into that, inside that cubical zone, multiplied by delta x. Delta x, it is the change through in the direction of x. Now you have got this value and this value. Now then what you will do, you will subtract that how much get accumulated, or how much will be reside inside that particular zone. If the q will go from here to here, then you have to determine how much accumulation will be inside that segment. Then what you have to do, you have to subtract how much will go in minus how much will come out from that segment. Then when you will subtract, it will give the delta z. Same delta, we are here, we are writing for x direction only. Okay, that's why here the dou. Now here what it will be, how much is the qx in, how much it is going inside, and how much it is going outside. You have to subtract out. Okay, after subtracting, what you have to do, you have to rearrange, or you have to cut this value from this value and this value, then remaining will be only this particular part. Then again you have to put this value, whole value you have to put here, same value, then you have to rearrange. Now have a look which kind of values or which kind of that equation you have got. The qx have a look. It is the function of dou by dou x multiplied by K. This is the thermal conductivity, and this is the dou T by dou x, means change in the temperature with respect to your position, and this is the whole volume that you are looking for. Whole volume means that whole segment, what is happening inside that 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 whole cubical structure, and multiplied by your small time, what will happen within a small time period. Similarly, you have to write for all three positions, qx, qy, and qz. Okay, if you are looking for that qy position, then how you will write for that? Can anyone, how you will write this formula? For y direction, you have to write qy, and here will be your ky multiplied by, then how much will be your area? You have to determine, you have to define that at what direction it is flowing, and negative sign, it is opposite to the flow. Negative sign you have already added. So here will be the area dx and dz. Okay, this will be the perpendicular to that flow, and here will be del t by del x, and multiplied by, for a small time segment, this is multiplied by d by d tau for a small time segment. Similarly, if you will rearrange, if you will subtract, you will get for y direction and for your z direction, both direction you can easily find. Okay, after that you have determined all the q delta x, sorry, delta qx, delta qy, and delta qz, all direction you have calculated. Then what you have to do, you have to add all the net heat accumulated in the element due to conduction of the heat from all coordinate direction. Just add all the term 1, 2, and 3. Okay, when you will add this thing, okay, after adding, what you have to do, you have to just take this whole term common in each term, then take it out, then you will get this whole term. Okay, then this much heat will accumulate when the heat will flow from x to y direction, or y to delta y direction, and in z direction, all three directions. This much will be your accumulation. Now you have to determine how much will be the heat generation. Same, already you have written that qg will be rate of heat generation, will be, this is the generation heat multiplied by a whole volume, and this will be the for the small segmental time. Okay, now how much will be the energy storage? Energy storage, it will be depend on your how much volume you are looking for, how much will be the volume of that segment. Okay, then here it will be for formula, rho will be your density of that particular material, of that material, means if you are taking any kind of iron particle, then you have to put the density of iron. If you are taking any kind of copper particle, then you have to put the density of copper. Okay, then density multiplied how much will be the volume of the segment, multiply that this term, and tau d del tau by del t, this is the for the small time segment, and delta tau. Okay, how much is the what is the formula? Heat stored in a body, it will be the formula mass of a body multiplied by a specific heat of the material. This is the intrinsic property, here they have mentioned with C. Okay, this is the C. And the rise in the temperature in a body, if you will add any kind of temperature, how much will be the rise inside the body? And same formula you have to apply. You have already written this thing. Okay, by applying this formula, what you have to do, you have to equate this whole this term with adding two term, one and rate of accumulation. As you already we have discussed that three term you have to determine. First will be how much will be the heat, how much will be heat get accumulated. That second will be your heat generated, and third will be your energy stored in the element C. Now then all these things, three term, this whole term you have already determined here, this particular segment, plus you have to add with the heat of generation. This is the heat of generation. You have to add this term also and equal to this whole term. Okay. After equating both term, you have to rearrange this values here. Now see, here if the volume term in each segment is common and your this is small time, it will cut it for whole three term, then you will get this formula. I think you might have seen this term in your fluid mechanics, which is little bit similar, not exactly similar, but little bit similar to your Navier-Stokes equation. What does that mean? Here now you can see this is called as the okay, there is one kind of operator here. We have used there is called as that vector operator. The same vector operator here you have applied also here, and this will be the your generation term, this will be your volume change in volume term. Then what, how, if you'll rearrange, how it will be this whole term. Let me write one. This formula was in fluid mechanics that dou by dou x plus dou by dou y plus dou by dou z. But this vector representation you have used in Navier-Stokes equation, but it was only for one dimensional. But here have a look, you can find if you will take this term as a common, k1 kx ky kz, then you will get single k and you will get the double vector operator, which is nothing but which is called as the Laplacian operator, which is generally used to determine or define the properties where the heat flow or any kind of the mass transfer flow which is flowing from one direction to another direction. Now here we have mentioned that this is known as the general heat transfer conduction equation for non-homogeneous material or self heat generating and unsteady state three-dimensional heat flow. This equation established in the differential form the relationship between the time and the space variation of temperature at any point of solid through which the heat flow by the conduction takes place. Okay, so you have determined this whole heat transfer equation in any kind of Cartesian coordinate. If you have any kind of solid, when the heat will flow, then you have to use this formula, but you have to rearrange. As I already told, here is the two operator, you can see one vector operator and the second vector operator. If you will consider that general heat conduction equation for constant thermal conductivity, in case of homogeneous, in which the property, density, specific heat, thermal conductivity are same everywhere inside the material, and the isotropic, in which the property are independent of the surface orientation, then the conductivity, that k1 k2 k3, all the term will be equal, it will be equal to k. Then the diffusion equation, how it will be like this. But what you have done here you have divided with k also, then this k term will go here, the k term will go here, and k term will go here. Now you can see this divided by k, this whole term divided by k. This particular term called as the Laplacian coordinate, this particular, and here they have also rearranged with alpha, which is called as the thermal diffusivity. It is the ratio of thermal conductivity and thermal capacity, this formula. Alpha equal to k divided by rho c. It is the ratio of thermal conductivity divided by thermal capacity, and which is called as the thermal diffusivity. Okay, I think you have got a little bit about how you will derive and how you can write the heat transfer equation term for your any kind of solid surface or any kind of Cartesian coordinate surface. Okay, now you have got this fundamental formula, but you have to look into that how we can rearrange this formula to based on like your Navier-Stokes equation you have derived for different like the constant viscosity, constant that the density, and then only you have got the Navier-Stokes equation. And same thing you have to rearrange here also, then you will get 3 to 4 formulas. Like now you can see they have rearranged and they have applied Laplacian coordinate, that vector operator whole square if you'll apply, this is called as the Laplacian coordinate, and this is the same thing as the rearrangement of this formula. If you will write like this, that whole square, if you will write for the whole term, means dou square t by dou x square in the x direction, dou square t by dou y square for y direction, and dou square t by dou z square for z direction. If we'll add, the whole term will be equal to this Laplacian operator, which is what is how it is like this square. By applying this, you have suppressed the whole this fundamental equation and you have got this particular term, Laplacian in a particular temperature, Qg divided by K, it is the heat generation term, equal to 1 divided by alpha, your thermal conductivity, and del T by del tau. This is this is a small time segment, and this is your temperature. Other simplified form of the heat conduction equation in the Cartesian coordinate. For the case when no internal source of heat generation is present, then what it will be? No heat generation. Which term are the heat generation? Heat generation term is only this thing only. Then you have to suppress this term. Qg will be 0. Then what you will get? You will get this particular general term, or you can say this particular form, which is called as the Fourier equation, which is a very famous equation, Fourier equation. Laplacian coordinate at temperature equal to 1 by alpha dou T by dou T. This is the tau for the time and T for the temperature. Okay. Now, if you will, under the situation when the temperature does not depend on time, means you are considering that steady state condition. Okay. This term, steady state condition, means any property, it is not changes with respect to time. Then what it will be? This term will become 0, this particular whole segment. Then how it will be? And you will cut this particular term, this will be remaining. Dou square T by dou x square plus dou square T by dou y square plus dou T by dou z square plus Qg, your heat generation, and thermal conductivity equal to 0. This particular equation called as the Poisson equation. I think you have got two equations. One is based on if you will put no heat generation or no internal heat generation, then this equation called as the Fourier's equation. If you will consider that any property, your temperature property is not changes with respect to time, then this is called as the Poisson equation. And Laplace, if you will consider here the no heat generation term, this is called as the Laplace equation, this whole segment. And same thing you can rearrange based on your problem, that steady state one dimensional means this term and this term, y and z will be 0, and this will be the final expression. For a steady state one dimensional without internal heat generation, dou square T by dou x square will be the 0. When you are looking for a steady state two dimensional without heat generation, then this will be the equation, means without heat generation means your Qg will be 0 here. And on a steady state one dimensional without internal heat generation, what it will be? Dou T by dou x equal to 1 by alpha del T by dou tau. Okay, these are the equation you have got by rearranging this particular equation. This is your fundamental equation based on your arrangement or your problem. you have derived different kind of form of equation: Fourier's equation, Poisson equation, and Laplace equation. Okay. Idea about how you will apply this Cartesian coordinate to get all these fundamental equation? Correct, na? Okay. Then after that, for derivation, that if you'll go through that derivation term, just have a look how you can approach for the Cartesian coordinate. Okay, this thing is very simple, but you have to do rearrangement. Okay, but you have to keep this in mind how you will apply the energy fundamental energy conservation equation, and that the momentum conservation equation, that in the Navier-Stokes equation you were looking for momentum equation. Okay, in the momentum equation you have rearranged and you have derived your Navier-Stokes equation. Here you have applied that the energy balance. By applying the energy balance, you have derived your equation, that Poisson equation, or you can say the Fourier equation and Laplace equation. Okay, now we will discuss about how the heat conduction through the plane or any kind of composite body you can apply. Okay, in the plane body, what does that mean? Plane body, if you have any kind of surface, the derivation which we did for Cartesian coordinate, but here we are talking about if you have any kind of plane body, if this particular temperature, if it is very high, T1 is higher than T2, T1 is higher than T2, then the temperature difference will be like this. Okay, and same thing, it will be also depend on how the thermal conductivity of the material will vary into the segment. If you are assuming that thermal conductivity is same for whole segmental area, this particular area, then you have to assume as a K. Or if you are saying that that the thermal conductivity, it is depend on the temperature and it is varying with respect to time, then you have to take into consideration like Kx, Ky, and Kz. These three terms you have to take into consideration. But here what you are doing, you are assuming that you have taken any kind of plane wall which have the thermal conductivity as K, cross sectional area you have assumed as A, and the length of the particular plate, this particular plate, you have taken as the L. Now here they have mentioned that temperature T1 is higher than T2, and here we are looking for heat is flowing into the X direction from this direction only, then definitely temperature T1 will be very high. And this particular form that which we have discussed, you have to apply this particular equation. Whenever you want to derive any kind of equation for composite wall or any kind of two-dimensional wall, definitely just apply this fundamental formula, because this formula you can apply for any kind of rectangular size of that the wall, any kind of rectangular wall. Now see, dou square T by dou X, dou square T by dou Y square, and dou square T by dou Z square, plus this is the generation term, heat generation, and this is the volumetric term. Now in this segment, what you have assumed here, you have assumed this is the uniform thermal conductivity. Okay, you have assumed that uniform thermal conductivity, then there will be no heat generation, this generation term will be 0, and this particular term d dou tau by dou tau, it will be 0. Okay, this term particular 0. And you have also considered that here is the one directional flow, means 1D you have assumed, then only X directional flow will be there, then dou square T by dou Y square and dou square T by dou Z square, both term will be 0, and all the three term you have considered as the 0. Then what you have to do, when you will when you will make all the term will be 0, this particular term you will get. Okay, then what you have to do, you are looking for how the temperature it is varying in the x direction. Then you have to derive the expression where the temperature will be depend on your x only. Then what you will do, you have to determine like this: t is equal to, first you have to do the integration, dou t by dou x equal to c1, one constant. Second, t equal to c1x c2, correct? Then you have to determine c1 and c2. Then how you can determine? Definitely, to determine c1 c2 you need two boundary condition. What is the boundary condition? At x equal to 0, here will be the temperature T1, and x equal to at a particular length, or you can say the L, it is the T2. And same boundary condition he has applied. When you will put the x equal to 0 here, you will get the value of the C2. C2 will be T1. And when you will put this value L, you will get the value of the T2. Just rearrange, you will put all these value, then you will get, this will be the final value of the C2 and this will be the final value of the C1. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to put all these values C1 and C2 in this particular equation, then you will get the value of the T1, equation of the T. Now if you will see this expression, this your temperature depend on two properties. One is the how much is the change in the temperature which is happening in the x direction. Now this is your temperature, and this is your second temperature, and this is your position x, and this is your temperature T1, and this is your position. Means your temperature, if it is flowing into the x direction, it is depend on only two properties. One will be your how much is the length, how much will be the length, how much will be the length, and how much will be the temperature as well. This will be your length, and this will be your temperature. If your length is very higher, if your length is very higher, if you have assumed this is near about 1000 meter, this is very high, and your temperature difference is very low. If the temperature difference you have assumed this is 50-degree temperature, and this is your 20-degree temperature, your distance is very high and temperature difference is very low, then what will happen, that the temperature, what you will get, that the temperature will does not deviate too much. When you will plot that, when you will plot, what will happen, it will show like this, it will be straight line. Why straight line? Because the deviation which will happen only this thing only, because you have taken the so much longer length of pipe, or you can say any kind of slab, but here the difference will be at the surface only, nearby this surface, and at rest rate will be similar to 20 or nearby that thing only. So to determine or to define how much should be the length or and how much should be the temperature deviation, you have to define how much you need temperature and how much you are looking for the temperature difference as well. Generally what people do, generally people determine how much will be the difference as well, similar to the fluid mechanics. Like in the fluid mechanics, if the fluid will flow, you were looking for how much will be the change in the velocity in this direction. Okay, and you generally find here you are velocity of 0, no slip condition. Okay, when you are taking no slip condition, here you are assuming that velocity will be 0, and after that it is showing some kind of deviation. This is your v infinity. Okay, But when you are looking for temperature deviation, it will be like this only. Means what is that? Here the temperature difference will be very high at this particular zone, because this is nearby your heated plate. This is nearby your heated plate. In the fluid mechanics, it will go upward direction, but here the as you are going far from your surface, or as you are going far from the heated that material, the heat transfer will be lower. Okay, and this is also based on your how the geometry of your any kind of vessel or any kind of reactor designing. If you want to design any kind of reactor, and you want to reduce the cost of the process, generally you are looking for where you will put your burner. If you will put, if it is your burner, if it will provide heat like this only, then you have to check at what area should be the best to provide all the radiation, all kind of heat to that particular surface area. Then only here the heat transfer will be very fast, and it will give you the higher reaction, or it will produce the higher product yield, or it will enhance the production yield. So generally we have to calculate how much energy you have provided to that surface, and how much will be the heat transfer. If you'll increase this particular length, this particular length, then the heat transfer will be lower. And if the heat deviation and the heat difference between this heated area and this heated area, if it will be lower, then definitely there will be the lower heat transfer. So in the designing part, if you are designing any kind of reactor, so you have to keep this in mind, where you have to put this burner, or you can say where you want to heat transfer from this direction to this direction. You have to keep all the possibility in the designing a reactor. Okay, you have got that how it is depend on that the length. Now after that, what you have to do, you have to determine how the thermal conductivity depend on the surface. Now the thermal conductivity Q equal to minus Ka del T by del X, Fourier's law of heat conduction. And del T by del X is the temperature gradient. Then how you will determine T, you have already determined. T will be this particular form, T2 minus T1 divided by L T x plus T1. Just put this value here and rearrange all the whole term. How you will rearrange? If you differentiate, this particular portion will be there and this will be 0. Then T2 minus T1 divided by L, it will be equal to del T by del X. Okay, and same formula you have got, that Q equal to minus K del T by del X. Now you can see here delta X, it is the distance where the heat transfer will takes place, or you can say the whole term which is called as the temperature gradient. It is also written here. And here you have already determined that minus Ka T2, it is your higher temperature, minus T1 divided by L. Similarly here, if you will put minus inside, then what it will be? Ka T1 minus T2 divided by L. Now then again you have to rearrange, then Q will be T1 minus T2 divided by L divided by Ka, and this is called as the thermal resistance. Thermal resistance. Now as I already told, all these terms will be depend on at what area and which particular area you are looking for to transfer heat, and how much will be your length and the temperature. Same, if you have higher length, then you have too much resistance to flow. Now you can see thermal resistance to heat conduction equal to L divided by Ka. Means it is totally depend on how much is the area and how much is the length and how much is the thermal conductivity. If your material is very good, which can propagate heat from this particular direction to this particular direction in very quickly, then you have to just arrange only the L and the K, means how much you are looking for heat transfer length this whole length, and how much would be the area. So before designing any kind of reactor, if you want to control the heat transfer, then definitely you have to determine how much will be the thermal resistance. Whole derivation, it is based on your thermal resistance, because this particular area, definitely it will exert some kind of resistance to flow heat from here to here. So we have got the thermal resistance will be, it will be the formula of L divided by Ka. Okay. If you want to determine the how much will be the weight of the wall that around the reactor, then rho multiplied by how much will be the your volume. Rho multiplied by area multiplied by length. If you are design a reactor as a rectangular form, then L you have already determined. L will be the thermal resistance multiplied by thermal conductivity multiplied by A. This will be the weight of your wall to design any kind of reactor. If you want to control, if you want to control the heat transfer in the designing a reactor. Okay. And here, yes. Okay. So here, up to here, we have discussed about that how we control the heat conduction or heat transfer in a particular, in a plane area. If you have any kind of plane area, how you will control the heat transfer. Okay. And we have also discussed about how the fundamental equation, that which is called as the Poisson equation or Fourier's equation, how it is related and how you can define this fundamental equation in your deriving formats. Means by knowing all these equations, you can easily determine how much will be the value of any kind of unknown parameter like K or any kind of time T, you can easily determine. Okay. So today, yes, and in the next class we will discuss about the thermal conduction through the composite one. Okay, we will discuss in this thing in next class, because here you have to same thing. Means if you are designing any kind of reactor, if you are means if you have one reactor which is made up of various material, inside there is one kind other kind of material in your bioreactor, then other different kind of reactor, different kind of material, then all the heat which will be transferred from your inside or from the outside to inside, you have to determine all these things. Then here the composite wall will come into the picture. If your bioreactor have different kind of composite wall, if it is single wall like any kind of metal or any kind of glass is there, then it will be depend on how much will be the thickness only, because this general formula T equal to, this is based on your L and how much is the temperature, same how much is the length and how much the heat will transfer from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay, I think you have got the idea how you will determine your thermal resistance property and how you will define your thermal conductivity, that the heat transfer from higher to lower as well. Okay, anyone, any query, please?
No, sir. Sir, excuse me.
Okay, okay, tell. Okay,
Sir,
tell.
excuse me. Sir, please share the notes.
Okay. Today I will share this notes. Don't worry, yeah. And
Sir, from the
just go through
beginning
all
of
notes.
Unit
But
3.
Unit 3, I have given
Yes, sir.
Unit 3, Unit.
Sir,
This is
conduction, convection, वो share नहीं हुआ
okay.
अभी.
Unit 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will share this.
Excuse
I
me,
will
sir.
share this notes today. Yes.
Sir, please share the lecture recordings also.
Okay, lecture recording, but okay. I have to share that mail, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Definitely, I will share. And okay, means my question is that when the class is over, you guys getting any kind of notification?
No, sir. That
No,
link
sir.
will only be coming to you because you are the admin of that recording, and
Oh
so
my
it
God.
will
Okay,
always
okay.
go
Then
into your account.
definitely I will share. Don't worry, don't worry. Definitely today I will share. Don't worry. If you have any problem in any notes or you couldn't understand what I have written, just please mail or you can WhatsApp me. Don't hesitate. Okay, na? Today I will share. Okay. No problem.